Dodoma's population has grown from less than 1 million people in the 70s to more than 3 million people in 2022. That comes with increased opportunities for business, but also a rise in demand for supporting infrastructure and housing. Since independence in 1961, Tanzanians seeking important government services had to travel to the coastal city of Dar es Salaam, which was the country's capital. But this often proved to be a logistical nightmare as the location was not central. To change this, the government designated Dodoma as the country's new capital in 1973. Located about 450 kilometers from Dar es Salaam, Dodoma is at the center of the country. It was considered ideal in spreading regional development due to its geographic advantage as a transport intersection. The shift to the new city then was to happen in 10 years' time, but it was not implemented until after more than 4 decades. In 2019, the late former President John Pombe Magufuli officially relocated to Dodoma with a promise to shift all government services there by the end of that year. Since then, it has been a race against time, and now the city is like a big construction site. I'm meeting a real estate developer here to find out what this shift has meant for them. What changes have you witnessed since the government moved its operations to Dodoma?
We have witnessed many changes because previously the cost of land in Dodoma was low, but now after the government moved here, the value has gone up. For example, in 2019, in an area like this, we used to sell 1 square meter at about $2, but now we sell 1 square meter at $4.5. So in other terms, in 2019, you could buy 600 square meters of a piece of land for $260. But now you can subdivide that same piece of land into 4 pieces and sell each one of them for $1,280. That is a big change.
How are you fulfilling the demand for land and housing here in Dodoma?
As a company, we have been working to map several areas and subdivide the parcels of land to fit the needs of our customers. We also do checks to ensure land security for the customers and reduce their need for personally visiting the different areas in search of the landowners to negotiate and buy, because that used to be a challenge. For this area, we work closely with the Dodoma City Council. They set the prices for pieces of land in different areas according to their own assessment, and thereafter they give us the pieces of land to sell at the set prices.
What challenges are you facing?
Maybe in terms of infrastructure, the government needs to put in a bit more effort, like roads and electricity, so that people can start building. Another challenge that our customers tell us that they have faced is delays in getting land ownership documents, which are required before they can get permits to build. You must have the title deed before you can be given approval to construct.
Located 17 kilometers from the city center is yet another construction site, the government city, also known as Magufuli City. It spans about 617 hectares and will host all government ministries and foreign embassies. Authorities here estimate that its construction will cost about $4.8 billion. Farms and villages once dotted this area, but they were cleared to make way for the new city under construction. That transformation comes with a need for supporting amenities which did not exist previously. The country's National Housing Corporation is in charge of the construction of 8 ministries at Magufuli City.
Out of the 27 ministries being constructed here, we are building 8 of them and consulting for 2.
When did this project start and what is the projected timeline?
We started construction in October 2021 and we are expected to finish this year after 24 months.
Apart from government offices, the state agency is also working to meet the accommodation needs of citizens. we visited some of the houses in the outskirts of the city.
Tangu tangazo la kuhamia Dodoma litamkwe, upungufu upo.
Since the announcement was made to move to Dodoma, there has been a shortage of housing, but as an agency we are nearing the construction of 700 residential houses. Some are complete but others are not, and these include shops and clubhouses. The 700 houses are for sale to any Tanzanian moving to Dodoma.
Tulianza awamu ya kwanza nyumba 303.
We started with 303 houses in the first phase. Then in the second phase, we are constructing 404 houses with the aim of getting to 1,000. The plan is to continue constructing to fulfill the demand for housing.
What challenges are you facing?
Our biggest challenge has been the fluctuation in prices of building materials, mostly brought about by the Russia and Ukraine war.
Tanzania is not the first country to shift its capital. Other countries have walked this road before. Malawi moved its capital from Zomba to Lilongwe in 1975, while Nigeria effected a similar change from Lagos to Abuja in 1991. We spoke to the regional government representative in Dodoma on what has been accomplished so far and the timelines.
Hatua zinaendelea vizuri kama ambavyo tunafahamu.
Currently, 2 of the 3 government organs are already in Dodoma. That is the executive, or rather, Office of the President and Parliament. We expect that within 2023, the judiciary will also shift to Dodoma. In terms of other government departments, 70% are in Dodoma. We expect some other 24 institutions to move to Dodoma this year. This has meant that many people moved to Dodoma, and until last year, we had 18,000 civil servants who had moved to Dodoma.
So what can Dodoma do to solidify its place as the new capital and attract trade and investment? Let's hear from an expert.
I think there are some areas that need more improvement. For example, in terms of infrastructure development, the road infrastructure. They had a plan of having sure that we will have the ring roads. So probably I think they can complete that plan by making sure that at least we can be able to minimize the traffic jam and other forecasted impacts which are coming. But also making sure that the services, necessary services to the household are accessible, like the water. So far we see there is a high demand of water, not only for construction but also for domestic use. It's also the issue of electrification. So if people they want to connect, they want their connection, at least they can get it on time. But also the issue of land ownership in terms of those title deeds, at least they can be accessed on time. People can have enough time to develop their houses, to develop some industrial activities on time, because there is some delay for some of the title deeds access. So I think the youth can also do something in terms of making sure that they fully utilize the potentials of the ICT. For example, by making sure that the goods can be like people can order online, but also they can have companies which are connected to the construction. Also, we have service providers who are needed by different institutions, like cleaning and the other kind of service providing activities. So if they do that, probably they can be able to exploit those opportunities.